The moment you're about to send something, finish something, publish something, and then you just don't. That moment is worth understanding. You're not lazy. You're actually one of the most driven people you know. But somehow you can't finish things. You start with this burst of energy, you overcommit, you go all in, and then suddenly you just stop. And then comes the shame spiral. And you tell yourself that what you need is more discipline, and so the cycle restarts again. Intense motivation, overcommit, overwork to feel safe, burnout, withdraw completely, shame spiral, and restart again. Every time this happens, it reinforces your subconscious belief that there is something wrong with you. If this feels familiar, this video is going to explain something that nobody has told you yet. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Melissa, I'm a GP, and I'm a certified coach. Your productivity is not a discipline problem, it's a safety problem. Because if you look closely, you don't struggle with starting, you struggle with sustaining. And have you notice how it gets worse right before something matters? Like right before you're about to launch something, submit something, send something, something in you pulls you back. That's not self-sabotage, that's protection. Because to you, being seen means you could be judged. And if deep down you believe that you aren't good enough, that you aren't worthy, that you are too much, then being judged can feel like a confirmation of those subconscious beliefs. And that is not irrational. At some point in your life, being seen and then found lacking didn't just feel bad. It felt like it cost you something. Connection, approval, belonging, safety in a relationship that mattered. So your subconscious mind and your nervous system learned that visibility is a risk and have been protecting you from that risk ever since, even when the stakes are just a work email. So when you try to work, it doesn't feel neutral. Writing one email feels like proving your worth. Finishing one task feels like your whole value is on the line. And that's because somewhere along the way, your output became tangled up with whether you are enough. Here's what's actually happening underneath it all. Your nervous system is doing its job. When it senses a threat like exposure, being judged, failure, being too much or not enough, it either pushes you into anxious overdrive or it shuts you down completely. And neither state can sustain calm, consistent output. So you get bursts of intensity followed by collapse. And that is not a character flaw, that's a nervous system that doesn't feel safe being seen. And so you try to manage it. You build systems, you set stricter rules, you try to control your way into feeling safe enough to work, which is why more discipline hasn't worked, more structure hasn't worked, more pressure hasn't worked, because you've been trying to solve a safety problem with control. Even though control feels like safety, it's actually just a simulation of safety. When you use control to feel safe, what you're essentially saying is, if I can predict everything, nothing can hurt me. But that's not safety. That's vigilance. And vigilance is exhausting because it never ends. There's always one more thing to control. And the more you control, the more evidence you collect that you need to control. Because every time something feels okay, you attribute it to your control. Control is actually an attachment behavior. It's what you do when you can't trust that the connection will be there. So using control to feel safe around productivity is the same template as using control in relationships. It creates distance from the very thing you need, which is internal safety. Real internal safety is that felt sense in the body that even if things go wrong, I will be okay. That lives in the body and in the subconscious mind, and that is something that can be built. If this is something that you recognize in yourself, that feeling of having two different forces in you, one that pushes you and one that pulls you back, I made something for you. It's a free guide called The Two Voices. It helps you start separating the part of you that's trying to protect you from the part of you that actually knows what's right for you right now. The link is below.